السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon the noblest of mankind, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his household and the companions. May peace of Allah, his blessings be on each and every one of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our gathering an act of worship in his sight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our faith. May Allah accept our prayers and forgive us our sins. Today, inshallah, the issue we want to consider is common mistakes in Salat. Common mistakes in Salat. We know Salat is the second pillar of Islam and the demonstration of our faith. The first pillar of Islam is to bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. The second one is Salat. The third one is Zakat. The fourth one is fasting in the month of Ramadan. And the last one is Hajj, pilgrimage. That second one is the greatest religious practice. It's a demonstration of our faith. It's even the foundation pillar of Islam. When Salat is removed from Islam, Islam is no longer there. Salat is like foundation. When foundation of a house is removed, the house collapses. The same thing happens to Islam when Salat is not there. Now this Salat, we know that it has a lot of rulings because it's so unique that it's a worship that we do every day, every time, everywhere. And every Muslim is expected to do it except for those who are exempted for one legal reason or the other. It's a worship that the poor, the rich, the sick, the healthy, the traveler, the residents, all of them are to do. Even the sick, I said, they have to observe the Salat. So it has many rulings. This is why we visit the issue of Salat often and often, trying to bring out different aspects of it. So today we want to talk about common mistakes in Salat. There are some mistakes we do in our Salat that we may not know that they are mistakes. There are some that we may have observed from others, and there are some that we ourselves we commit. So it's good to know them so that we'll be able to avoid them. To start with, Salat has different aspects, as I said. There are some things that are known as shurutu Salat, that is the conditions for the validity of prayers. I think there are how many? The conditions for the validity of prayer. How many are they? 8 or 9? Which one? There are 9. We discussed them in the past. There are 9. Can anybody mention one? The 9 conditions for the validity of Salat. The first one is Islam. One should be a Muslim before Salat to be valid. And the second one is sanity. Sanity. So that is, one must be intellectually okay, sound, for Salat to be valid. Then the third one is at-tamyiz, which is discretion. This one is used for children. Once they are age 7, when they attain the age of 7, our children must be praying. That is sinut tamyiz, the age of discretion. So it's a condition for the validity of salat. So from 7, their salats should be considered valid. So we have to make sure they observe the salat that should be observed. Then another one is what? Purification. Purification. So one must do purification, ritual purification to be specific. That is, one must not be in a state of janaba or aid and nifas. Then the next one, number 5, is cleanliness of clothing and place and body from filth. That is cleanliness. It's different from purification. So purification is something ritual. But cleanliness is to remove physical filth from the clothing, from the place of prayer, and from our body. The 6th is to face the direction of the Qibla. So it's another condition. Then the 7th is timing. The salat must be observed at the time fixed for them. Then the 8th is to cover our private parts, to cover our nakedness. Then the last one is intention and niyyah, to make intention. So these are the 9 conditions for the validity of prayer. Now from that, we rise to the mistakes we make regarding these conditions. Mistakes regarding the conditions for the validity of prayer. The first mistake here is, I'm following a book. I wrote a book to that effect since 2009, about 6 years ago, but it has never been published. So I'll be following the book to read out these these mistakes. The first one is to pray before the time or after the time limit of a prayer. This is a serious mistake because that salat will not be accepted. When you pray before the time is due, or you pray after the time that is fixed for it, that prayer will not be valid. Quran 4, verse 1 and 3, Allah tells us that Inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. Salat is obligatory on the believers and it has fixed times. So anyone who observes the salat in the time that Allah has not fixed for it, that salat will be rejected by Allah. But we have some concessions. We have some allowances. When we are sick, or when we are travelers, or when the rain is falling, or we are experiencing storm. As a traveler, you are permitted to combine Zuhr and Asri at the time of one of the two. You may hasten Asri prayer and do it with Zuhr once the time for Zuhr is due. Or you delay Zuhr and you observe it at the time of Asri as a traveler. When you are sick, you can do the same thing. Then Maghrib and Isha, you may combine both of them as well. You may delay your Maghrib and do it at the time of Isha. Or you hasten your Isha and you do it at the time of Maghrib. The same thing when there is storm or rain is falling, we can combine Maghrib and Isha. Maybe after Maghrib, we discover that it's raining heavily. We cannot go back and it may not be possible for us to come back for Isha. We can start our Isha at that time as well. So we have this permissibility. Then, any other reason, you may not be allowed. Salat may not be allowed to be observed outside the time border that has been fixed for it, except if one forgets or one slips off when it's being done. When one forgets, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man nasiya salatan aw nama anha falyusalliha idha dhakaraha." When a person forgets a prayer, or you sleep off when it was being done, do it when you wake up or when you remember. Any salah that is missed because you forget or because you are asleep when it's being done, do it whenever you wake up or whenever you remember it, only that prayer alone. So the first mistake is to pray at the time that has not been appointed for it. So let us always pray at the right time. The Prophet ﷺ said, those who come late for their prayer, that's how they will be late in entering Jannah. Those who are always late for their prayers, that's how they will be late in entering Jannah. When others are there enjoying themselves in Jannah, they will be there suffering, toiling. They may not even be sure whether they will make it to Jannah or not, because they used to be late in their prayers. So let us pray at the right time. Whatever we are doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is greater than everything we will be engaged in. Let us give him his right. Let us do the right thing at the right time. Another mistake regarding the condition for the quality of prayer is for a woman to pray when she is in her menses or when she is in her nifas. A woman cannot pray and cannot fast when she is in her menses or she is in nifas. Nifas is postnatal bleeding. When a woman delivers, there will be some bleeding for a number of days. Within this period, a woman is not supposed to pray. The same thing when she is in menses, and she cannot fast as well. But if a woman becomes clean, becomes pure, after postnatal bleeding, after childbirth, she is going to resume her prayers. She doesn't have to wait for 40 days. Though the Sharia gives us that 40 days. When you still experience the bleeding for 40 days, you may leave the prayer. But after the 40 days, and the bleeding still persists, then you have to do something to yourself. You have to take your bath, and you begin to pray and fast as well if you have any fast to do then. But if the bleeding stops before the 40 days, one has to bathe, and then you have to do what? You have to begin your prayer. Once the bleeding has stopped before the 40 days, don't necessarily need to wait till the 40 days end. The same thing if a woman miscarries. In a situation of miscarriage, if the fetus has human features, then it will be considered as if it is childbirth. The stillborn, if it has had human features, it means that you are going to stop praying once you are experiencing the bleeding. But if it has not got human features, then you consider it as istihada. So you clean yourself, you wash yourself, then you continue praying. Some scholars have stipulated the time for that. That is 80 days. If there is miscarriage and the pregnancy is up to 80 days, from 80 days and above, then you are going to consider yourself as being in nifas, as if you have a child, a birth. So you are going to do what? You are going to stop praying within the time limit you have. But if it is before 80 days, you miscarry, then that blood that is coming will be considered as non-menstrual discharge. So with that, you clean yourself and you should be praying. So the mistake there is for some women to believe that when they have a child, they would not pray until after 40 days. So it's a mistake to have such belief. Another mistake is for a woman who has just become pure after her menses to leave prayer because of the reason that she doesn't have water to take her bath. You have become pure and you know you are pure, but you are at a place that you cannot even take your bath. And the prayer will be coming, and you know you can't get home or where you can get, be comfortable to bath until after you might have missed some prayers. So it's a mistake to delay such prayer. Once you discover that you are completely pure, so you have to do necessary things to pray. You do tayammum. You do tayammum for your prayer. Since you cannot take your bath, then later you bathe, you take the ghusl, but you are not going to repeat all the prayers you have observed. How do we do tayammum? Tayammum, how is it done? So you put the palms on fine sand or just any dust. You shake off the pebbles, you rub the face just once, and the hand just to the wrist. It's not necessary to the elbow, because Allah does not mention elbow when he's talking about tayammum in Quran 5 verse 6. So you place the hand on sand, shake off, or you blow off the stones. Then you rub the face, then the hand to the wrist, just the back of the hand. Only once, you place your hand only once. That's the Tayammum. So you can do that, you start with Bismillah. So you can do that in place of a ghusl if you are at a place where you are supposed, when you are pure, but you cannot make your ghusl. Then, another mistake is, okay, I've covered this. So another mistake is not to instruct our children to pray. So it's a belief that they are still young. The reason that they are still young. It's just, how old is he? It's just 9. Just 9? When do you wake them up for schools? 5:30? Even 4? 4:30, 5:30? And they are 7. The Prophet ﷺ said, Muru awladakum bis-salah wa hum abna'u sab'a. When your children attain the age of 7, you must instruct them to pray. From the age of 7, your children must be praying 5 times. So you do it gently, you encourage them. MashaAllah. When they have done it, you praise them. Oh, MashaAllah, you have done well today. You do your prayer at the right time to encourage them so that they'll be used to it. You see that they'll be the one even asking you, is it not time for prayer? How many am I going to do? They'll be asking you repeated, how many? Okay, how many? Okay, go and do 4. So they come back, how many? 3. So you just go to the ablution area together. Okay, do as I do. So from age of 7, they must know everything about prayer. Another mistake is a belief that one cannot pray where pictures are hung. To believe that one cannot pray where pictures are hung. Do you have pictures in the room? No, I cannot pray here because the pictures are there. You can pray there, the prayer is valid, but it's not good in Islam to hang pictures of living beings. So there are 2 different things. So because, the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يدخل الملائكة بيتا فيه كلب ولا صورة. Angels do not enter a house where there are pictures or there is a dog. So where there are pictures, angels do not enter those houses. The same thing in the house where you have a dog, angels will not enter that house. So pictures of living beings cannot be used in Islam as decoration. If you need them, then put them in an album, keep them so that they will not be displayed. In Islam, you don't honor images. So when you hang them, you are honoring them. Yes, when you hang them, it's as if you are honoring them. Keep them somewhere. It's not one of the ways of beautifying our houses in Islam. It's culture of other people. So, but that does not mean that your prayer will not be valid. Because when you say the pictures are there, the angels will not enter. And you say, I can pray there. Are you praying to the angels? You are not praying to the angels, you are praying to Allah. Or do we say that if you want to commit sin, just hang pictures? So that the angels will find their way. They will not even record it. You can't keep out Allah. So you cannot, you can pray there, but it's not good to hang pictures of living beings. Another mistake is for sick people to combine prayers. For the past 3 days I've not been praying because I was ill. Sickness is not an excuse to abandon prayer. The Prophet ﷺ, he told Imran bin Hussein, he said, Salli qahima, fa'in lam tastati' fa'qa'ida, fa'in lam tastati' fa'ala jamb. Pray standing. If you can't stand for your prayers, then you sit. If you can't sit, then you do it on your sides. You make gestures. So as I'm seated now, you can pray like this if that's how it's convenient for you. So it's Allah Akbar. So you recite, you do your recitation, you do your ruku. Sami Allah al hamida. Allah Akbar. Your head will be lower in your sujood than that of your ruku. So say the necessary things until you finish your prayers. And when you are praying sitting, You don't need to ask somebody to bring you some sand so that if you want to prostrate, you now be prostrating on the sand. No, you don't do that. Just do everything by gestures. Now, so sickness is not an excuse to abandon prayer. The Prophet has told us what we are going to do. We just must remember Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah says, "Alladhina yadhkuruna Allaha qiyaman wa qu'udan wa 'ala junubihim." Those who remember Allah, standing, sitting, and on their sides. That is, they remember Allah always. Allah praises those people. They remember Allah always. If they can do it standing, they do it standing. If they can't stand because of sickness or illness, they still remember Him while they are seated. If they still can't do it, they do it while they are on their sides. Allah praises those people. So we should observe our prayers as we can. You can say, I'm too tired to pray. You now go to bed without Maghrib and Isha. Subhanallah. Who gives you guarantee that you are going to wake up tomorrow? The other day, who gives you that guarantee? So we should never go to bed while we are indebted to Allah. We should never go to bed while we have not observed our Isha. In many cases, when you say, taking Sudia now, I'm too tired, let me just take a little. You see that you wake up in the other day. So let's manage to pray our prayer. However tired you are, just do it. I read a message about one woman who used to neglect her prayers. Sometimes she would sleep without observing many of her prayers. Then the husband had been telling her about this, but she persisted doing the same thing. Then there was a day, the husband traveled. When he came back, he did not tell the wife that he was back. So he just went straight and he went to his bed and slept. When he woke up, the husband, when he woke up, later, about some hours, she now called the wife and told her that she was back. So the wife was shocked. You were back about the past 3 hours and you did not even call me. You did not even bother to call me. Don't you miss me? So I was so tired to call. How much will it take you? Just how many seconds will it take you to just call me and tell me you are back and just go to your bed? So the same thing I tell you about Allah. You will be complaining always, you are tired. I will tell you how much will it take you? Just to pray and you go to bed. Within 5 minutes you do it. Now you are. That's how it is. That's how it is. Then a young man who I also read about him, there was a day he left for school. When in the morning he just took his breakfast and he left. He did not greet his mother. The mother was wondering, what's happening to my child? In the afternoon he came back, he didn't greet. He just went in, he took his food and he just went his way. What's wrong with this? He spoke to him, didn't talk. She spoke to him, didn't talk. Then at night, he took his food. Then before he now went to bed, he now went to his mother. Mom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. He said, are you mad? I'm not mad, ma. What's wrong with you? That is how you combine your prayers. Your Zuri, your Asri, your Maghrib, and Isha together. And how do you feel? That's how you do with Allah. So let me do it to you and see how it looks like. Subhanallah. So we have to give our Lord Allah the reference He deserves. It's a mistake for a male Muslim to leave his shoulders or thighs exposed in prayer. The shoulders must be covered, and your thighs must be covered in prayer. So what you wear, at least for a male Muslim, you have to cover your shoulder, from your shoulders to beyond your knees. But for females, you have to cover all parts of your body, except the face and the hand to the wrist. All parts of your body must be covered, except the face and the hand to the wrist. Then, another mistake, the one that is even a bit serious, is to delay Asri prayer till the time of Maghrib. You know, sometimes we ask the question, if I've not observed my Zuhr, can I do it when they are doing Asri prayer, you may hear the fatwa that yes, you can have the intention of Zuhr and pray behind the Imam who is observing the Asri. After that, you do your own Asri. The same thing for Maghrib and Isha. They are doing Isha prayer. You have not done Maghrib. You'll be told, do Maghrib, do your Isha first. Then do your Maghrib after that. You will not repeat the Isha. So there's a difference between the two. Because Zuhr and Asri, they have 4 units. But Maghrib and Isha do not have the same units. So you can pray Asri with the intention of Zuhr. After that, you now do your Asri again. But Maghrib and Isha, when they are praying Maghrib, Isha, you have not done your Maghrib. After you join them in the Isha, after the Isha, you now do your Maghrib. And you are not going to repeat the Isha. So, this one, even though it's also serious, that will delay the prayer, except when you have legal excuse. But for Asri and Maghrib, that question should not come at all. Because you don't have any reason to combine them, except when you forget or you sleep off when it's been done. These are the only 2 reasons. Asri should never be delayed the time of Maghrib. You know what the Prophet ﷺ said about that? Man fatahu salatul asri faka'annama wutira ahlahu wa mala. Anyone who misses Asri prayer is as if he's bereaved. He lost his families and all his properties. And when to lose use of property at our family, Adam Uba. It's as if Adam Utibanya and by the miss Asri. Because Asri is the greatest of all the prayers. When Allah talks about prayer in the Quran, Allah says, Hafizu ala salawat, be mindful of your prayers. For salat in the Wusta, especially the middle prayer. To be mindful of your prayers, especially the middle prayers. That is Asri. Asri prayer is the middle prayer. It's a prayer of, Adawuni, prayer of test. Because it may be a time when you'll be rushing home from work, you may be tired, you may need to rest, you may, for one reason or the other. If you are not careful, you won't be able to observe it until it's the Maghrib time. So you miss it when sun sets and you have not been able to observe it. Not when you observe it by 5, by 5:30, by 6, you see time for Maghrib. Asri. But you delay it until the sun sets, that's when you miss it. So let's be careful about this. May Allah accept our ibadah. It's a mistake to believe that one cannot pray in non-Muslim houses or use water that their hands have touched. You can pray anywhere. The Prophet ﷺ said, وَجُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا. All parts of the earth surface has been made for me as a place of worship and an object of purification. All parts of the earth surface have been made for me as places of worship and objects of purification, except where you can find filth, like blood, nabatio, or a place of filth, a toilet, all these places. Apart from that, anywhere, if you are at a hotel, so wherever you are, you can pray. Even if the house belongs to a non-Muslim, pray there. The same thing if the hands of non-Muslims have touched the water, you can use it. There is a proof that Prophet Muhammad and his companions performed ablution from a water bag belonging to an unbelieving woman. So the Prophet did perform ablution with water belonging to a non-Muslim, a woman, and which means that her hand must have touched the water. So it's wrong to say that the menstruating woman has touched this water, so the water is no longer valid for ablution. No. There's nothing like that. So that impurity is not physical impurity when a woman is in her menses. It's only ritual impurity. It's not physical one. So you can't say that because our hands has touched the prayer mat, so you cannot use the prayer mat to pray or something like that. No. It's a mistake to believe that because your wife is in her menses, you cannot pray inside that room. Or because it's not covering her head or something like that, you cannot pray there. No. It's not compulsory for women to be covered when they are indoors, even if you want to pray. Why should she cover her hair? So because some people believe that the angels, like the story we do here, that Khadija, when she wanted to confirm whether the present Prophet Muhammad had seen was Angel Gabriel or not, was an angel or not, he said, okay, when the person is coming, just let me know. So when he was coming, he just uncovered herself, and immediately the angel saw the head, she ran away. So does it mean that the angels are running away from all these people who are not covering their heads? They are so powerful that their hair can send all the angels away. And no. We don't have any authentic proof for that. So it's only required when you are going outdoors, they must not expose any part of their head. The same thing, the objects of beautification when women are going out. And when we are praying as well. But once they are indoors, even if they want to recite the Quran, it's not compulsory women cover their heads to recite the Quran. It's only for prayer. It's only for prayer. So that's the best thing if one can do it. But if you know you can't, you don't really have any reason to do it. It's not compulsory to do that. To cover the head to recite the Quran for women. Now, we go to mistake related to purification. One, it's a mistake to believe that whoever steps on feces after ablution has invalidated his ablution. Some people believe that when you step on feces after your ablution, then ablution is bad. In fact, I heard somebody was saying, so where do you get all this from? So when you step on feces, maybe feces of your children or whatever it might be, it doesn't invalidate your ablution. What invalidates ablution is, one, anything that comes out of our private areas, from the front or the back. Private areas, whatever comes out of our private areas invalidates the ablution. The same thing, mental disorder. May Allah protect us from that. Another thing is when you eat camel's meat, it invalidates ablution. Only camel's meat. When you eat after Maghrib, you can just wash your mouth and go for Isha. Once you know that you have not done any other thing to officiate the ablution. Then another one is sleep. Once you have performed ablution and you slept, then that ablution has been invalidated. You have to do another one when you wake up. Then another one is when you consciously touch your genitalia, when you touch your private area. So then the ablution has been invalidated. So for a woman that washes the body of a child, that doesn't invalidate your ablution. Just wash your hand and you go for prayer if you have done ablution before that. Then another one is the dua that you may be taught to do during the course of our ablution. It's not from the Prophet ﷺ, except two. The one in the beginning and the one at the end. Bismillah in the beginning. Just Bismillah, not even Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Then when you finish the ablution, you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. You may add, Allahumma ja'alni min at-tawwabin wa ja'alni min al-mutatahhirin. You may also add, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. This is the only thing to be said. But every other thing, like when you are washing your mouth, a special prayer, when you are washing your face, when you are washing your hand, when you are is not from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's a mistake. The same thing under that, to memorize intention in Arabic formula, to utter, to express intention in Arabic formula. Nawaitu, Farida, Udui, La Ta'ala. No. You don't do that. The same thing goes for our prayers. And people, when they want to start their prayer, I even asked somebody, I said, he said he has not learned Aniya. That's why he was not praying. What do you mean? What aniyah do you need to learn? So you don't memorize intention in Arabic formula for any of your worship. So you don't need to say Naway to Sunday Salat, oh Allah, I intend to observe Salat Zuhri. I'm moving behind the Imam, in case you don't know. So we don't do this. We don't do this. Allah says, قُلْ أَتُعَلِّمُونَ اللَّهَ بِدِينِكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Do you inform Allah of your religion? When Allah knows all that is in the heaven and all that is in the earth, and Allah is all aware of everything. From 49, verse 16. It's a mistake to perform ablution without first removing the paint on the fingers. This is for women. So when you have paint on your fingers, you must remove those the paint, before you ablution. So if you need to apply it, maybe you are not going out, or you are in your menses when you are not going to pray. So, and many scholars have not even considered it advisable. But if you must use it, when it's time for prayer, then you have to remove it, because it will not make your prayer, your ablution to be complete. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw a person having performed ablution. The person prayed and he saw some parts in his feet that water did not touch. The Prophet asked the person to repeat his prayer, to go and repeat the ablution and the prayer, which means that you must make sure that your ablution is adequate. So every part that you must wash must be covered with water, except where you are just to wipe, not washing, like the head and the hair. Just wiping, so that one may not be adequate, just only wiping. But all the areas that should be washed, they have to be washed adequately if you want your prayers to be valid. So the Prophet asked the person to go and repeat the ablution and the prayer, because the ablution water did not touch part of his foot. So what about the person who is now putting on paint? Except if it's for maybe when you have bandage or casts on because of a sickness, so you can just rub on the bandage or the cast, just rub on it, pass wet hand on it. So that one is because of illness. So it's a mistake to believe that one cannot talk when you are doing ablution. So one can talk if you have any reason to do that. So it doesn't mean that you must talk when you are doing ablution. No. We are only saying that you can't say that you must not talk. So we are not saying that you must talk. Because I once asked somebody, when a person was performing ablution, and somebody was greeting him, Assalamu alaikum. Oh, okay, you know now. So this is just ablution. So there's nothing that says that you must not talk. And like I said, I'm not saying that you must also talk when you are doing your ablution. I even saw one elderly man, another person was performing ablution. So that person, when he had wiped his head, and the cap was still on the floor, so he was washing the feet. The man said, use your cap. You must not allow a fly to touch your head. I said, but that's why I see you right your Lord. A fly should not touch your head after. So you must immediately cover it up. So it's not part of it. Then another thing, it's a mistake to believe that one cannot do 2 sets of prayer with one tayammum. You can observe 2 sets of prayer with one tayammum. You have done one tayammum, you can use it for Zuhr and Asri, maybe like a traveler, or you are sick, you want to combine Zuhr and Asri, use one tayammum for them if you cannot do ablution. So it's valid. And you can use it for Jummah prayer. You can use it for Jummah prayer. Even many scholars are of the view that when you are in the masjid for Jummah prayer and maybe you fast, you just invalidate your ablution one way or the other, and the Jummah prayer has commenced. If you are to go to look for water, before you come back, you are going to miss that prayer. And it's a prayer that does not have that you cannot observe another Jama'ah for. It's only once every week. And you can't get another Jama for it, and you have come purposely for that. Many scholars of the feel that a prayer like that, you can just do tayammum so that you'll be able to catch the Jama because it has only one Jama. Just like Salatul Janaza, funeral prayer. If you have invalidated your ablution and funeral prayer has been observed, and you know it's a prayer that you cannot say, you can't, it doesn't have another Jama. So just do tayammum and join them in the funeral prayer. If you know that if you are to go and do your ablution before you come back, the prayer will have been done. So you can do tayammum and join them. Wallahu a'lam. So it's a mistake to believe that one must take ghusl when you release madhi. What is madhi? Madhi is prostatic fluid. That's urethral discharge, which is not semen. So this happens frequently when you think about sex. So you touch the opposite sex. So you may experience some discharge. So you may not even know that it has come out. It doesn't weaken the body like a semen. So this one doesn't require ghusl. This is known as prostatic fluid, that is madhi. It's different from manish. Mani is semen, sperm, that becomes a child. But for prostatic fluid, you just have to wash the place it touches. Then you have to repeat your ablution if you had done one before it came out. So it is a mistake to believe that you don't need to take ghusl once there is copulation and there is no ejaculation. That is, you have sexual intercourse, but there wasn't ejaculation. The man did not release anything. To now believe that since there wasn't anything like that, then you have to take ghusl. How do you take ghusl? You wash your hands after having said Bismillah. You wash your private areas, the genitalia. You perform ablution. Except the feet. You come back to the head. You wash the head 3 times. You don't need to undo your braids. So you don't pour water all over your body. You wash the right parts down and the left down. Then you wash your feet. So the ablution and the ghusl will end at the same point, the feet. You do Bismillah. Your intention is already there. So you wash the hands 3 times. You wash your genitalia, so you wash the hand again according to another report. So you perform your ablution, except the feet. You come back to the head and wash it 3 times. So you pour water all over your body. And if you have a swimming pool, you can just go into it and wash all the body and come out. Once you have the intention that you are doing it for, you are doing it as a ritual purification, you can do that as well. So you can use the ablution in that ghusl for your prayer, if there's any prayer around the corner. Except if you have done anything to vitiate the ablution. It's a mistake not to take ghusl when you wake up and you find yourself wet. Whether you remember a sexual dream or not, once you wake up and you see that you are wet, you have to take ghusl. Whether it's a man or a woman, you have to take your ghusl when you wake up and you discover that you are wet. And if you do not take note of that you had some maybe semen on your clothes, except after having done some prayers, you now saw it later in the day. I was wet. You have to do your ghusl and repeat all the prayers you have done since morning. So another mistake that has to do with purification is to leave the hair that grows in your armpit and the pubic area for more than 40 days. The Prophet ﷺ said, 5 things are characteristics of believers. Khamsun min al-fitr. The first one is circumcision. Male circumcision is what must be done. The second one, shaving the pubic hair. The third one, or trimming the mustache. You trim the mustache. It is this one you leave. So you trim this. The next one, you remove the armpits here. Then the last one, to trim your nails. ID cannot see no Islam. And some people, they also use artificial nails. No, this is not allowed, except for medical reason. So these 5 things, Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet said, we should not leave this for more than 40 days. When you leave the here, and the public area for more than 40 days, you have offended the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you have to shave this hair. It's part of our purification in Islam. Another mistake is for 2 people relieving themselves to be talking. So this can happen in any way. Even lower, I don't know one be. You don't say, I can't even say the toilet. You don't have to be talking when you are in it. You don't talk when you are in the toilet. Particularly talking to another person, except when you have a legal reason for it. But you're can consider. You can have it might be low. You drop something outside, and you have to talk so that they know the owner is inside. You may find yourself in such a situation, you may talk. But without any such reason, you don't have to be talking when you are in the toilet. And particularly mention the name of Allah. As a mistake as well, okay, under that, the Prophet ﷺ said, when you are in the toilet, 2 people are relieving themselves, and you are talking to each other while doing that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gets angry about that. Allah gets angry that you do that, because it's a demonstration of lack of manner. Then another mistake is to touch the genitalia with right hand. The Prophet said, when you are leaving yourself or you are cleaning yourself in the toilet, don't use your right hand to hold your private parts. And don't use your right hand to cleanse yourself when you are leaving yourself. So you don't hold your private part with your right hand. It has to be done with the left. And you don't cleanse with the right hand. Another mistake is to be careless about the splatter. When you are urinating especially, to allow splashes of urine to get onto you is a very serious mistake, please. The Prophet ﷺ, he once passed by 2 graves and he said, the occupants of these 2 graves are being punished now. And what they are being punished for was not something that was difficult for them to do. It was even something they did not even consider important. One of them, he was a gossip. He was a rumor monger. To hear something here, goes to another person and to have to cause problem within them. Backbiter. The other person, he used not to screen himself from the splashes of urine. So that invalidated most of his prayers without him knowing it. So we have to be very careful. So whether you are urinating standing, particularly for males, or you are doing it stooping, whichever it might be, or sitting, you'll make sure that you don't allow splashes to get on your clothing. One can urinate standing if you find yourself in such the Prophet once did that. But in most cases, he used to sit. The Prophet ﷺ also said, beware of the 2 acts which cause people to curse you. 2 acts that can make people to curse you. The first one is relieving yourself in the people's walkways. And the other one, or in their shade. Where people use as shade, you now go there, you leave yourself there. You don't do that. So, many people, they just, indiscriminately, they just urinate anywhere. You see some houses, so some people don't really have shame. They may have a place where they can go to do, and yet they will prefer to just use outside. There are some people like that. Even at our mosque here. Sometimes I will be coming for prayer. I will see some people. I'll be using my hand to. This toilet is there. What do you want? Urinate in front of the mosque. So there are some people who do that, which is wrong. So we have to cover ourselves. We have to use a cover whenever you are relieving ourselves. And particularly where people use for shade or their walkways, we must not leave ourselves there so that people will not be cursing us. It's a mistake for a woman that experiences incessant flow of blood to abandon Salat. Rather, she only leaves Salat on her normal days of menstruation. So during menses, it may happen to have some abnormal condition, where one we have excessive flow of the blood. What one has to do is the woman should determine she can do one of three things. One, if a woman is experiencing excessive flow of blood, maybe because of this contraceptive, sometimes when this contraceptive they are taking often changes their nature. So the menstruation often changes. Sometimes you may see a woman 15 days experiencing blood. And because of this contraceptives, sometimes it may not even have a stop at all. The blood continues. And it damages some other women. So that's why the scholars advise us seriously, before you take any, try to get the medical advice on that. The advice of experts before you use any, if you need to use it. So we don't want these people to take our women as a kind of specimen in the lab, just testing all their drugs on them and damage their bodies permanently. So it changes the menstrual course. So if that happens, what are you going to do? Or for any other reason, you may have this excessive flow of blood. So you can do one of three things. One is, can you distinguish the blood? So this, the menstrual blood, is often dark. So when you see this menstrual blood, so when you have that, you consider yourself menstruating. You stop praying or fasting then. When it stops, you take your bath. When you experience other type, then you know that it's something else. You have to take care of yourself about that one. Once you can distinguish between the blood. This is the first atemiz. Then the second one is to follow the ada. Ada is you follow your normal days of menstruation. When you cannot distinguish, you don't even know which is. You don't know which is which. No distinction. Then you have to follow the normal days of menstruation. Okay, I do it within this period of time every month. Those period of time, you consider yourself in menses. So other time, you take your bath, then you pray and fast. This is the second one, by following the Ada. The third one is by choosing 7 days. If you don't have established Ada, just choose 7 days. This is the advice Prophet Muhammad gave one of the companions who experienced such an experience during his time. Just choose 7 days, because that is what is common to most women. 7 days. So that's about that. It's a mistake not to use siwak, toothstick, or brush. It's a mistake in Islam. To brush only once. At least 3 times. Or you use toothstick. Even if you can use it for every prayer, toothstick. You cannot use brush always. The Prophet ﷺ used to say, "Asiwak, matharatun lil fami, mardatun lil rabb." This toothstick or brush, apart from the fact that it cleans your mouth, it also fetches the pleasure of Allah. It makes Allah to be pleased with you. The person who prays and uses siwak before the prayer, your prayer is not like the person who prays without having used it. So let us get used to this sunnah. Then we go to mistakes relating to adhan, calling to prayer. Excuse me. It's a mistake to make adhan without learning the proper ways of pronouncing the words of adhan. Because Arabic language is a very delicate language. When you add to it or you remove from it, meaning changes. Some people will say, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. When we say bar, the meaning has changed. Because in Arabic, Akbar is the plural of kabar. And kabar means drum. So Akbar is the plural of drums. Can you now say Allahu Akbar? Huh? Allah is But you don't intend that. But that's what it means. So this is why the first person who saw the adhan in his dream was Abdullah bin Zayd bin Abdul Rabbihi. He was the one who had the dream about the adhan. As he was coming to narrate it to the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet confirmed it that he had seen the same thing. Umar too was rushing to tell the Prophet about that. So it was confirmed that Allah guided them through dreams. Then, when the Prophet was alive, you cannot be so guided today, except if you have been instructed to do something in your dream. You have to place that thing in the mizan of Kitab wa Sunnah, in the measure of the Kitab and Sunnah. If it does not violate anything in Islam, you can do it. But if you have been instructed to do something in your dreams, and this is against the established practice or belief in Islam, you must not do it. Because the religion was complete before the Prophet ﷺ died. So, when he saw it, Abdullah ibn Zayd ibn Abdul Rabbi, the Prophet ﷺ said he should teach Bilal what he had seen in his dream. He was not the one making the adhan, even though he was the one who saw it. Why? Because Bilal had a very beautiful voice. He had a very beautiful voice. That's why Bilal became the mu'adhin of the Prophet ﷺ. So not everybody can make adhan. Not everybody can make adhan. Then, it's a mistake for the mu'adhin to say extraneous things apart from the words of adhan that we know. Some people, when they want to make adhan, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar. No. No Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. No A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And some people after the adhan, ẹ máa bọ̀ wá kírun, ẹ máa bọ̀ wá sóríire, ẹ wá wọ ọkọ̀ ọ̀la, kí tún ni? Kò kárí àlùwàlá, kò kárí àlùwàlá. You don't need all this. It's extraneous. We don't need it. The adhan itself is to remind people it is time for prayer. So you don't need anything again. So anything you add to it is bid'ah. Please, let's avoid it. Then, it's a mistake for the muazzin to repeat the Allahu Akbars of Imam, except if the congregation cannot hear the voice of the Imam. So it's a mistake. The sunnah is the Imam that everybody should hear his voice. The role of the muazzin ends after he has made the iqamah. After the iqamah, every other thing should be done by the Imam. So this is why in many mosques, you don't even hear the voice of the imams at all. Even the arrestation, you will not even hear it. Everything, he has delegated everything to the muazzin, and he is there. This is complete contradiction to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is the imam that should have the microphone to be saying everything, the recitation, Allahu Akbar, except when you have a mammoth crowd. You have a lot of crowds. So you fear that for one reason or the other, they may not hear the voice of the imam, as is done at haram. So, but once the congregation can hear the voice of the imam, you don't need to repeat it again. It was done during the time of the Prophet ﷺ only once or thereabouts. When the Prophet was ill, he was leading the prayer, but his voice could not be heard at the back. So Abu Bakr was now relaying that. So we have mentioned this. The Muazzin, particularly during the night where Subuhi prayer, when we make adhan, some people make it too early. Too early. And not only that, they will be disturbing people, causing nuisance in the name of God. Causing nuisance in the name of God is a form of blasphemy. So it's a form of blasphemy that is being done by these churches. And some Muslims are also doing it. Particularly for zikiri. They'll be doing zikiri in the masjid, and they'll be using microphone, disturbing people who are sleeping. They say they are doing maulidi or lalatul qadr or whatever, disturbing people who are sleeping. This is wrong. This is wrong. Even for tahajjud as well. You don't need to let people be disturbed when you are doing our tahajjud. This is why we immediately corrected that during the Ramadan when we fixed our microphones and we discovered that, people could hear it from out. We just be disturbing them. It's not compulsory for them to hear it, and they don't even need it. They don't have any reason to hear it. It's for those who are within the mosque premises. So we asked that it should be turned off immediately. So only for those who are in the mosque, so that we will not be disturbing people who are sleeping. So, but for making the call to prayer, that one will not cause any nuisance or any disturbance, because just to make the call or to relay the prayer, and within 10 minutes we finish the prayer. So there's nothing wrong with that, and it's not late in the night whereby people will be sleeping and you are going to disturb them. But anything apart from that, please don't let us become noisers in the name of God. Then it's a mistake to believe that one cannot pray unless with a timetable. What is important is we have to know the fixed time for prayers. The Prophet ﷺ said, the time for Zuhri prayer is when the sun passes the meridian. So the sun, it rises from the east. So when the sun is rising, you are not allowed to pray or observe any prayer. So it goes up like this. It goes up, it gets to the meridian. Immediately it passes the meridian, the zenith, and you begin to have your shadow towards the east, where it rises. Then that's the beginning of the time of Zuhri prayer. So at the sun journeys down to the west, your shadow increases. When your shadow becomes your height, like your height, then that's the end time of Zuhri prayer and the beginning of Asri prayer. The sun continues. Then the sun sets. Before it completely sets, the horizon, the sky at the east will have become reddish. When you are seeing that afterglow, that's twilight, that's time for Maghrib. When you no longer see the sun has set, but you are still seeing that afterglow, that is time for Maghrib. When you no longer see the twilight, Isha begins. So this is what we must learn. So the sun is there to facilitate the timing of our prayers. We don't worship the sun. It is to serve us, we don't serve it. It's placed there to determine the respective times of our prayers and see how great Islam is. The same thing when we want to start our fast. We wait until we see the appearance of the moon, the new moon. We don't worship it. It is to serve us, we are not serving it. So the celestial bodies, they are there because of Islam, because of the Muslims. This is why I cannot pray at the time you choose for yourself, but at the time Allah has placed for it. You cannot bring the sun back. You can please go back, I want to do my... No. It's continuously going. So this is what you must know. Not that we begin to fight about timetable or whatever. So, but what we are having today, the astronomically calculated one, is helping a lot, because not everybody can determine the respective periods of prayers. It's a mistake to leave the mosque after the adhan has been made, except for illegal excuse. You are in the mosque, then you have heard the adhan, then you want to leave the mosque. You must not leave until you have joined them in the observance of that prayer. Even if you had done prayer elsewhere, you now enter a mosque with a belief that you thought that the prayer had been done. But as you are there, the adhan is made. Then you have to join them for another prayer, even though that's going to be nafila for you. You don't leave any mosque once adhan reaches you there, except if you have any legal excuse. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he saw one person who was leaving the mosque after the adhan had been made. Abu Hurairah tried to get his attention, but the person was already going. And the Prophet Abu Hurairah said, this person has offended the Messenger of Allah. Qad qamat as-salat, when we are making adhan, should be twice. Qad qamat as-salat, qad qamat as-salah. Twice, not once. And it's not qad qamat as-salat, qad qamat as-salah. No, it's qad qamat as-salat, qad qamat as-salah. We don't make adhan or iqamah for the voluntary prayers. All the voluntary prayers, don't make adhan or iqamah for them. So, we now go to a mistake that relates to the use of the mosque. So it's a mistake to always make our ablution at the mosque. Ablution should be made at home. Ablution should be made right from home. The reason is that when you are on ablution, as you are coming to the masjid, each of your steps merits a reward, and a sin will be removed from you for each of your steps, as long as you have your ablution. So don't lose this reward. Then, it's a mistake to run to the mosque to catch up with the jama'ah. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا أَتَيْتُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِالسَّكِينَةِ وَالْوَقَارِ وَلَا تُسْرِعُوا. When you are coming for prayer, you have to maintain tranquility and calmness. You must not rush into the mosque. I saw somebody was rushing into the mosque and he hit his head on the door of the mosque. He shouted! We almost broke our prayers then. When he screamed. So the Prophet had said you should not rush into the mosque. Whatever you are able to catch, then you catch it. So that's all. You should always come out early. And many people do this for Jummah prayer. For Jummah prayer, we don't often come early. And it's a lot of reward we are missing. The Prophet ﷺ, we must know generally that Jummah prayer is compulsory for all male Muslims. All male Muslims, except the sick and the travelers. The sick, the travelers, women, children, it's not compulsory for them. But all other Muslims, it's compulsory for you to observe Jummah prayer. And the Prophet ﷺ said, on Fridays, at every Jummah prayer, it is observed in accordance with Sunnah. Angels will be there, recording those who come first, who come earliest. The first batch of people to come, they have the reward of having sacrificed camels. Those who come after that, they have the reward of having sacrificed the cow. Those who come after that, as if you have sacrificed rams. Those who come after that, as if you have sacrificed the hen. And those who come just before the appearance, before the imam gets to the mimbar, you have the reward of having sacrificed eggs. But when the imam gets to the mimbar, the angels, they fold their files. Your name will not be there. Like a person who goes to school, but is late. So the register had been called before he came. So you attended the class, but you won't have the reward, that special reward for the register. The same thing on Fridays. So we should always try to be at the mosque before the khutbah begins. Let's make Friday a special day. 1 hour should not be too much for Allah Azza wa Jal. So we should not rush into the mosque to catch the prayer. Then the second, say, to sit in the mosque in a state of impurity. You are in a state of janaba and you are sitting in the mosque. So you don't do that. Then it's a mistake to build mosque very close to each other. Except if the first one is full, does not contain the members of the community. So you cannot have another one. And the best thing is to extend that one, not building another. So you are now having just disturbing each other. It may even lead to competition. You have to be very careful of Masjid al-Dirar. Quran talks about Masjid al-Dirar. In Quran chapter 9, verse 107 and 108. So mosques that were built just to cause division among the Muslims, that were built because people were antagonizing themselves. The Prophet, Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, instructed the Prophet not to pray in those masjids. So we should not build a mosque because you are having conflict. Yeah, I want to do that. No. It's not done. It's not done. So when you have problem within ourselves, that does not mean that you are going to break the house of Allah or the people. No, we don't do that. Like a person who has some quarrel with the imam. So you have to come and pray behind him, even though you have that one is personal, you settle that one later. But for prayer, he has to lead you, you'll be behind the imam. So you don't divide the mosque and say, okay, we are going to start another mosque, we are going to start another fashion of our... No. We should always try to address whatever we are having within us. So whenever we have intention of building a mosque, let us try to rally others around. We want to make it small, you can make it big when other people support you. But some people, they don't know, I want to be the only one, the one that single-handedly build it. And that may be a problem later. That may be a problem. So when you let other people know about your intention, you may even get a land better than the one you want to build on. You may get a bigger one. So you take out for the interest of the community when it becomes large. Then another mistake is to leave the masajid untidy. So the Prophet ﷺ instructed that mosques should be built in residential areas and that they should be kept clean and perfumed. Mosques should be kept clean and perfumed. So when you enter the mosque, oh, mashallah, you'll be happy to be there. That's how it should be. But when you go to some masajid, when you wear white clothes, before you leave, it may become brown. Before you leave. Let's see. When you even get to ablution area or the toilet of some masajid, subhanallah, you may vomit. So please, you have to keep the masajid clean. It's one of the instructions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Prophet Ibrahim specifically and Prophet Ismail. وَطَهِّرْ بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْعَاكِفِينَ وَرُكَّعِ السُّجُودِ. Make sure my house is always clean for those who come here to pray. So we have to volunteer. Those who are using any mosque, come together. How are we going to be making this mosque to be always tidy and clean, perfumed? Either employ somebody, some cleaners, to take charge of that, or you do it as routine. So maybe this week, so and so person are going to do, the cleaning. Other week, as much as we have done it. But all our mosques, please, let us volunteer to be doing something for our masajid. Just volunteer. Because in most cases, we are just armchair critics. We sit down criticizing them. Why don't you go to them and discuss with them if you have any idea? So you have to do something. So all our local mosques, please, you have to take at it. As long as you pray there, you have your duty to make sure that you do everything possible to promote it. Cleaning services. So it's a duty on all of us. Then another mistake is to pray at home when you have masajid around you. It is compulsory for male Muslims to pray in a congregation. It's compulsory for male Muslims to pray in a congregation. The Prophet ﷺ used to say, Salatul jama'ati taf'udulu salatul fadh bi 27 daraja. Prayer observed in a congregation is 27 times better than the one observed alone. Prayer observed in a congregation is 27 times better than the one observed alone. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Man salla subha fi jama'atin fawa fi dhimmatillah. Anyone who observes subuhi prayer, fajr prayer in a congregation, you have a covenant of protection from Allah. Special protection of Allah, you have it with Allah. It's a blessing. If you want to be blessed, one of the things you need to do, make sure you do your subuhi prayer in a congregation. The Prophet used to say as well, if you want to know a hypocrite, just look for him at Fajr prayer and a Shai prayer. You won't do it in the congregation. So we should always look for a congregation to observe our prayer. In the masjid or within our neighborhood. If you know you cannot go to the masjid because it is far or because of fear or darkness or things or rain. So within your neighborhood, try to form one or just find a jama'ah to do. Except if you cannot, then you don't do it alone. But you are not supposed to pray alone. The other mistake is to appoint imam for the masjid without considering the criteria the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us. Imam baba ẹni imam ana ọ̀nà ni imam kan imam wo ṣe yedile. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the criteria. He said, "Ya ummul qawm aqra'uhum li kitabillah." The one who should lead the people in prayer should be the one which is most versed in the book of Allah. Most versed in the book of Allah. وَإِنْ كَانُوا فِي الْقِرَاءَةِ سَوَاءً. If they are equal in their reciter, فَأَعْلَمُهُمْ بِالسُّنَّةِ. Then the one who is most knowledgeable in the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you memorize hadith as you memorize the Quran as well. فَإِنْ كَانُوا فِي السُّنَّةِ سَوَاءً. If they are equal in the sunnah, فَأَقْدَمُهُمْ هِجْرًا. Then you look for the one who migrated first. That is when the migration was applicable. In another narration, or you look for the eldest. So the issue of age now comes in. Once you have confound, you have gone through the first one, which is the most versed in the book of Allah, and the most knowledgeable in Sunnah, you now go to migration or age. Then the Prophet added in that hadith, وَلَا يَؤُمَّنَّ الرَّجُلُ الرَّجُلَ في بيته في سلطانه ولا يقود في بيته على تكريمته إلا بإذنه. No man should be an imam for another man in prayer if the other holds authority. So when you want to pray now, you cannot say, I am so and so scholar. So you now get to a masjid, then you are now expecting that people should say you should be the one to lead. No, you have to follow the imam of that local mosque to lead the local people. Because he knows his people better than any other person. Sometimes, as a stranger, you may do something to offend the people. So you led the imam. So because in most cases, when you see somebody, come and lead that. It's not compulsory you ask the stranger to come and lead the prayer. You, the local imam, lead it. But if you choose to, nothing is wrong with that. But it's not allowed for anyone to now come to a mosque and say, because I am so and so, then I'm going to lead. Stand in the member of the imam who holds authority at that place without his permission. You don't do that. So this one also goes for if the obligatory prayer has been done in the masjid, then you now come, you want to do another congregation if you have any reason for it. Not that you are delaying it because you want to do another jama'ah. You don't want to pray behind the imam. If you do that, that prayer will not be accepted. You deliberately delay your prayer. The competition. So if you have any reason for the second jama'ah, because the Prophet used to say, يُعْجِبُنِي أَن تَكُونَ صَلَاةُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَاحِدًا. What I like most is that our prayer should be observed at the same time, not having a lot of jama'at. So this is why in some mosques, you'll be no second jama'ah. No second jama'ah, but you can allow it once you know that it doesn't cause confusion and it's not done deliberately. But if you want to do it, you don't need to make another adhan. And you cannot go to the mimbar or where the imam of that, the official imam of the mosque, where he uses, you now go there to form another jama'ah. You cannot do that, except if he permits you to do that. So let's take note of that. And the Prophet added in that hadith, I would like to read the remaining. When you go to visit another person, a special place that is meant for the leader of the house, you should not go there straight and sit down, except if he gives you permission to do that. So when you visit another person, you wait. Wherever you are asked to sit, that's where you are to sit, except if it's customarily done. When I visit him, when people visit this way, he asks them to sit. So we have to respect each other's privacy and authority. It's almost time for prayer. Let's take one more. So it is wrong, or let's finish this one on mosque. It is wrong to write the names of the contributors to the mosque accounts on a wall. You enter some mosque, you see Alaja Kudiratu, 10 naira. Alaja Mao, 50 naira. Sorry if your own is Kudiratu or Mao. No. So this is wrong. Particularly if it's at the front of the masjid. It will cause distraction. Because some people, when they are praying, they will be calculating what you have in your account. What the masjid is having. So you don't do anything that will be causing the distraction. You have to avoid it. So you can use a book for that, or you open an account with a bank. So you give your account details. Anyone who wants to, it's a private matter between you and Allah. So another mistake is that we don't use our mosque optimally. We don't use it for educational purposes. And that is a serious mistake. We always hear about Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. Which school did they attend? The school of the Prophet ﷺ, which was in the mosque. But our masajid today, you go there, the way you go, that's how you come out too. If you are not careful in some mosque, the way you go, you won't come out the same way. Because the imam that are leading, the imam leading is an imam who is a soothsayer. You cannot go to that mosque and come out the same way. You will have reduced your faith before you come out. Because that prayer may not be accepted from you. If your imam, like imam will say anything there, imam will sambante, imam bebo. So how can you make such a person to be your imam? So our masajid should be multi-purpose centers. So particularly use it for educational purposes. There must be a school in every mosque. So if you want to have official madrasa, you need it as an extension. But the mosque should be used for madrasa first and foremost. This dua that we make, Maghrib and Isha, every day dua. Every day. Alaji Dauda, Amowa, Matimansi Owo Bananu, Alonkoba Shidada Fuma, Alaja Akamu, Otumowa Lini, Molema Mowa, Ojawana Jakama Rishi, Alaja Aja. Look, every day, the brothers have been recorded. So we have to stop this. We don't need it. I don't want you to go back. The intention is not good. It's for the money they are bringing. So we have to stop it. Then after Subi prayer, no, stop it. Look for a book you can recite to people. It may be the Quran. Every day, one verse of the Quran. Before people leave after Subi prayer, or between Maghrib and Isha, one verse of the Quran. People take that as they are going. So they increase in knowledge. You take hadith, like Riyad al-Salihin, Bulugul Maram, you have many more. So you can be reciting one hadith every day or two before people leave. That one is better than everybody can do is dua. So the congregational dua is not even required. It's not required. It's not part of the religion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So please, we need to change that. So every mosque, those who are using the mosque, let's come together. We have to employ a person who is learned in the Quran and the Sunnah to be teaching our children about Islam. So how much are you going to be paying him? So you have to employ him, engage him, find work for him. To be teaching your children, maybe in the evening or at night, as you have chosen. Then all the members of the masjid, you come out with something, contribution. You pull everything together to pay for this malam. So every masjid, there should be center for the memorization, to learn how to memorize the Quran or how to recite the Quran. Every masjid. Please, if your local one is not like that, let us try to do something about that. And you have to stop that. The same thing, our masajid, like I said, should be multi-purpose centers. There should be zakat committee in every masjid. Because in every community, you are going to see those who are rich and those who are needy. So you have to, the mosque to be the bridge to bridge the gap between the two. So there must be zakat fund to assist the less privileged. Not people coming to the mosque with problems, nobody to assist them to solve it. No. So we have to do something about that. So there are many other things that we can use the masjid for. I would like to stop here because of the time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us in knowledge. We still have much more. I believe I've got to almost half of the book. So maybe next week, inshallah, I will also summarize the remaining common mistakes in Solat. May Allah accept our ibadah. May Allah increase us in knowledge. وسبحانك اللهم ربنا بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Jazakallah khair, ya Imam. The question that comes to my mind is on after you want to distinguish between cream that has alcohol or those ones that are normal, like they have much ingredients on it. So I want to know whether you can rub any cream generally.
These are two questions. The first one is, can you rub cream after ablution? Yes. So, and even the towel is part of it. When you have done your ablution, can you use towel to dry yourself? Yes, one can do that. One can rub the cream. The other thing is, can you use cream that has some alcoholic content, like perfume as well? Yes, one can use it. Since you cannot say this is alcohol. So this is not alcohol. So one can use it. And it's not for consumption. But it's better if one can avoid it, to avoid every argument under the issue of alcohol or not. So at least we can always find alternatives.
Sorry, does the same thing goes for drugs, for instance? Like they use this gel to package some drugs for ease of swallow or something like. It's not made. It's made from something like it's alcoholic, but it's not alcohol itself. Okay, you can stay under this.
You see, the alcohol is often obtained from things that are lawful. So it depends on the way you use it.
Okay.
You can make alcohol from dates, dabino. You can make alcohol from grapes. So, and we eat grapes. You can make alcohol from corn, and we drink corn, we drink pap. So it depends on the way it is used. But what is haram about alcohol is consumption, everything that we get into us. When you can say this thing is alcohol or alcohol content, and that thing we get to, is to be consumed, we need to try to avoid any of such. Allah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I want to find out about the time of prayer. Why is the time differs from one mosque to another? Like some mosques pray 1:10 Zuhr prayer, some 1:20, 2 p.m. How do you know the exact time? If you cannot watch the sun, the movement of the sun, which time should you accept as the correct time of Zuhr prayer?
One, it is wrong, like I said the other time, to have fixed timetable for any mosque. To have fixed timetable that you don't change it forever. Because in Masajid, even some people will be saying, so the king will go meji. Yeah, you think the king will go meji. The young will go meji. No, will go meji in the Sharia. So the king will go marry. You think will go marry, which is will go marry. So there is nothing like that. If the prayer has been fixed always for 2 o'clock, it is wrong. Fixed always for 4 o'clock, it is wrong. So they themselves, they cannot fix Maghrib. They know they cannot fix Maghrib. And fix it at 7, and when you want to break your fast, and the sun set by 6:30, wait till then to break your fast. You want to do it. And so it's wrong to fix the time for prayer, because it changes. It changes according to the change in the season. So, but what we have to consider is this. Everybody should know the timing of the prayer according to the Sunnah. We now look at the masjid. If it's observing it within the time frame, there's nothing wrong with it. Like the issue of doing it, like maybe we have had adhan now from our phones. That's the beginning of the start of a Suri prayer time. So it continues like that until around 3:30. So whenever the time is observed, the prayer is observed within this time frame, is okay. But the best thing is to make it early. So it may be like we have had adhan now, like a quarter to 12, or a quarter to 1. So 1, 1:10, 1:15, 1:2. You may, for one reason or the other, you may put it at 1:30. You may say maybe you are teachers, and you close by 1:30. Okay, let our prayer will always be 1:30. You can do that. You can say since we close by 2, you can fix it at 2 because of the school, because we will not be allowed to go for prayer. Then it's very, very soon you are going to close. You can make it 2 for that purpose. So what is important is the prayer should be observed within the time frame, and that is what we must know. But the prayer is not always for Asri prayer. So if you will not be observing it before the time. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Now the question here, a person who is the breadwinner and he wants to go for Hajj and is working in a bank, can you use his income from bank to go to Hajj? Or to give zakat? Yes, you can go to Hajj with your money from from bank, and you can give zakat from it. Once you are working there because you find yourself in dire necessity. Once you find yourself there in dire necessity, so you can use the money you have there to go to Hajj and you give zakat from that. Allahu A'lam. Okay. So a person who already has 4 wives, he intends to get another one. So he asked one of his wives to go by divorcing her. But he said no, she won't go. So he now contracted marriage with the 5th, hoping that one of them will go. If the one he has contracted did not go, then one of you must go. Up till now, she refused to go. What's the position of the 5th wife in Islam? And the 5th wife even had 3 kids with the man. Well, sometimes it's always good if you want to marry more than one wife, to go into it because of need, not because of greed. If it's because of greed, you will always, even when you have 4 wives, you still be committing sin if you don't have contentment. So by the way, greed, you still be committing sin if you have 4 wives. And you know why Islam says that you must not go beyond 4? Before Islam, it used to be any number that people choose. But when the Prophet ﷺ was raised, that was regulated because of injustice that was meted out to women. It was regulated. And the Quran now says we must not go beyond 4. And that 4 with condition of justice. If you now have any reason to go for the 5th, you now tell one of them to go. Would you please that for your daughter? If your daughter is married to somebody, and because he wants to get another man, he asks your daughter to come back to your home, how would you feel? It's injustice. It is valid legally, but morally it's wrong. And without having done that successfully, you cannot take the 5th. You cannot take another one. Without having done a divorce of one successfully, you cannot take the 5th. So in this case, the talaq, if the man had pronounced it, the talaq is valid legally, and the woman is divorced. So that 5th wife is no longer 5th, is 4th. So legally it's valid, but morally it's wrong. Allahu Akbar. So the children, the 5th wife, the so-called 5th wife, the children, the 3 kids he has for the man, they are legitimate children for the man. Wallahu Akbar. Any other question?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Imam, can you kindly have to explain the Quran verses around Qiyamah, where Allah said in the Quran that the light that will shine from Allah will lit the whole place. But then there was other verses where Allah mentioned that, and some scholars translate that the wudu for the mutaqin will be used as a light to pass through on the day of Qiyamah. Kind of confused me in terms of the light from the face of Allah will lit the place, will lit the day of Qiyamah, and also the fact that wudu will serve as light for the mutaqin. Whether people will be in different places and category. On the
first one is not clear. That light of Allah that will.
Maybe I didn't translate properly. There's a verse in the Quran where it says the face of Allah the light from the face of Allah will lit the place.
Okay. There's no confusion here. The question is about on the day of resurrection. We know that our wudu will be a source of light for us. Then when we are passing on the sirat, on the bridge that is built on the hellfire, and it leads to Jannah. So it's our deeds that will give us the light we are going to have to see when we are passing. Those who do not have good deeds, they will be in darkness on the bridge, and they will end up falling into hellfire. And Allah says, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. The face of Allah, or Allah Himself, His light will lit all the place on the day of resurrection. What about that? The different stages. In the day of resurrection, Allah is going to see everybody, but not everybody is going to see Allah. So it's by the permission of Allah that the believers will be able to see Him, but the unbelievers, they won't be able to see Allah. And Allah sees everybody. So the same thing, Allah will make light for everybody, but does not mean that the unbelievers will enjoy that light because of their bad deeds. So they will be in darkness, even though the light of Allah pervades all the parts. Like in this world, we are having light here now. Yeah, it's possible to have some aspect of this hall that is in darkness. Like under this place now, it's dark. This place is dark. So something like that, even though the light pervades all the hall. Allahu Alam. Last question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Is it permitted to do ablution in the bathroom that has toilet facilities? Like we know these days, our bedroom are combined with bathroom and toilet facilities. Is it permitted?
Yes, it's permitted to do ablution in the bathroom that has the toilet facilities as long as there is no filth all around. In those modern toilets, you don't see filth anywhere. So you can do ablution there, inshallah. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحانك اللهم ربنا بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله